Hello everyone, welcome to a little thing that I made. It's a little roller coaster in Minecraft that I made that I made out of boredom. I just kind of wanted to make something that is very relaxing. Now, okay, let me turn on my sounds very quick, or my music. Alright, so yeah, I decided to also make beacons so that people can see in the night or in the daylight, and so yeah, that people can be able to find it. So I used a lot of components in this roller coaster, and also made an amplified world. And so you're gonna be climbing up mountains and doing lots of stuff. So this is basically it's raining. God damn it. So yeah, I just did this, and I also in the spawn points, kind of like a little station area. This is kind of a little spawn point here. So what I did was this slab has two command blocks here. So one of them is just the spawn point for the player, and this one is to tell them, oh yeah, welcome to this little roller coaster thing. I call it the amplified roller coaster. So yeah, I don't want to waste any of the chests, so I just have one in my inventory right now already ready. And let's enjoy the ride, shall we? Go. So it took me a while to make this part, mostly because here, let me turn on the volume a bit. It took me a while to make this part because it was just a lot of staircasing and a lot of clicks. So yeah, and here comes this part. Alright, so as you know, many of many animals intend many animals intend to despawn. So what I did is that the player doesn't really see the name tags that I gave them because it's too far away. So I gave them name tags so that they don't despawn from the world, and so that they don't just erase randomly, so that they're gone. If I just kept them unnamed, then they'd be gone already. So that's why I didn't really name them at all. I just named them sheep. Because I didn't really want to make too much effort for something that no one's gonna see. So why make it if no one's gonna see it? So right over here, there's gonna be an activator rail that tells you that there's a creeper at termination, and there's a redstone circuit that activates some TNT and will explode all the creepers in 3, 2, 1. There you go. And look at that. Alright, so now, my player has fallen to this river, and boo-hoo, my card. So yeah, we got some oak boats here. I'm just gonna get some out of the, little thing, because I don't want to waste them. So yeah, let's go. So of course, I wanted to find a way to get rid of the squid, but then I just realized that doesn't really make a difference because it doesn't really stop the boat that much. I also decided to create a little obstacle course with a little tree here, so it's also pretty cool too. Alright, so it's like just a little, kind of like a lazy river right here. I also, just so that, to prevent the boat from glitching a lot, and so that people don't have a struggle from getting off, I just let the water just go off into here so that the boat can just be attracted to the edge and the player can get off. Now the arrows are directing the person. I also created some invisible blocks. So if I type in /give and then my person's name, barrier, you can actually see the invisible blocks that I put here. I put these invisible blocks so that the player can not find a way to escape this part, and so yeah, like they can't even go that way, or so it's a little easier for them. And there's also like many other places there's really no way to be able to let them get out, like parkour, not even. So that's a good thing. But also, it's It's just so that the player won't get lost, because of course in a big environment I'm pretty sure they would get lost. So of course they have a big series of ladders here, which took me again a long while to make. I didn't really know how to easily make the player walk up without just it being boring, but I had to make it boring because it was a really long way. So as we're going over here, we got a newer minecart station, and let's do this right. Alright, so let's go into here. I dug a lot of blocks to be able to let the minecarts fit. I also had to not put a rail there, and it just drops, so that was pretty easy to do. So I didn't have to just make more blocks and waste more time. I did make grass blocks here, because it was, I thought it was a good idea, until I decided, why use grass blocks when I can make invisible blocks, just the ones that I did here. So that's what I did, because I didn't want to block, because maybe the character wants to see under the rails. And so, yeah, that's what made me think about that. And so now the character's falling here, another literal ride here, and I'm sorry to say, guys, but that is the end of the ride. Alright, I'll let you look at the credits. Newer things that will be added to this, but for now, that is it. And thank you guys for watching that. And now, from now on in this video, I'm just going to be showing you the redstone and all of the things that I've made. So yeah, alright, if you guys want to continue watching, great. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so for this, I just decided to put some little colors. I love colors. These are my 3 or 4 favorite colors. I just like these colors. They're very colorful, and so it's really helpful. And just so that you guys can see better, I'm gonna clear the weather. Oh, whoops. /weather clear. I forgot how weird Minecraft commands are. And that was also daytime too. Alright, that's good. Okay. So usually, if you guys don't know what Minecraft rails work, these are things called powered rails. If you just do regular rails, that really slows down the minecarts unless you're going at a steep pace. So something has to be pushing them, and these powered rails are what's gonna keep the minecarts keep rolling and rolling. So and something powers these rails, hence the name powered rails. So they have these little torches that would light them up, and when they're lit up, that means that they are ready to use. And when just with the push of the button W, the minecart starts going across. So over here, like I said, when the sheep here, I named them sheep. I just decided to make I saw this little island thing, and I was like, that would look like a weird display thing here. So I decided to make sheep, because I don't know if it's just me, but sheep are just really random sometimes. You don't expect them to just be in a place on the top of here. And I put fences so that they don't fall off, because sometimes they will fall off. I mean, I could put barriers, but I thought this would just look luxurious in a way, or fancy. Also, to brighten up the place, I put a little bit of torches. I made a little heart here, very romantic. I put some little fancy fences and some glowstone blocks. Up here, they had a really weird cave thing here. Maybe in the future, I will maybe light this place up and add something. But for now, I'm gonna keep it like that. That does look like a place with potential. And down here too, probably there. But I want to be able to make places for sure where people can be able to see it. That's why I made a little curve here, so that people can be able to look at the sheep. Especially even good when they have Optifine and people are able to just look at it. And, they have the Optifine zoom. So yeah. As the person goes on here, I just made. Alright, so I literally had to. Right when the person falls off, I had to just look at the block, just fall down from there, and see which spot I landed from, and it was right here. So I wanted, and then of course, since the minecarts are going to be, you know, boosting off of there, it's not just in the block under, it's a little over that. So I moved one block forward and did that. I put a block here just to let it know that it's starting here, started the rails, and it went from here. I also remembered during the process that I didn't have to use redstone torches. I can also use that. And these activator rails can just activate the redstone, you know, the little things there. But then I just realized that, you know, it doesn't really work as efficiently as redstone torches do. So I stuck to redstone torches for everything. So this part kind of worried me, because you know, as when, you know, the powered rails would project, you know, they would always eject them, and they would go super fast. But I never thought that, you know, going this fast can actually make it through this very long tunnel, and I thought it would slow down and the player would stop in the middle. So I was really surprised that that happened. So we have an activator rail here that triggers a command block, which is in the bottom, that the player cannot see unless they are outside of the cart. And I told the command block to say creeper termination activated. Of course, there are more advanced commands to make it not show a little @ symbol that it says over here. But I didn't want to go for that because it is very time consuming for something that is the same thing. So, you know, so that's, you know, I just thought it wouldn't be good. So yeah, if I just place it on here, it says it, creeper termination activated. And this is the only thing that says it. It doesn't activate it until it goes to this one. And that's what tells it, okay, so this goes over here. I'm just gonna take a little peek here. Game mode, spectator. Alright, so this is a redstone. I used in barrier blocks so that it wouldn't be that visible to the player, only, you know, if they're looking directly at it. And it goes into this little, it just trails off into this tunnel here. I also created some distractions to make it think that it's like, oh, it's going through there, you know? So I made a little distraction that looks like pretty gross. And it goes into this little cave system here. Not really a cave, it's just like a trench or something. Or like a strip. And this is the dispenser that is over here. And these are just filled with TNT. 6 blocks to be exact. Because there may be more people, you know, riding. So I don't want to just have just one set of TNT. I want many sets so that people can be able to see the same experience. Or at least see some explosions, because I know a lot of the creepers are still going to be there, but most of them are gonna die. Hopefully, I will in the future invent a way so that the creepers can just spawn by itself, just with one activator rail. But for now, I'm just sticking with this. I'm just gonna be respawning over and over again. So yeah, all right. So the player drops down here and is in this river. This chest provides the player with boats, any kind. Again, there may be more than one player playing this, so I decided to provide multiple sets of boats for the player. They trail across this river, kind of like a lazy river. I also created a little obstacle for them, a little boring obstacle, with a little tree there. It took me a while because I didn't really know how the hitbox or the collision with blocks, with how it was like. So I had to expand it a little bit just so that the player can be able to move across. And there's another one until the water attracts the boat into the edges and they can't move anymore backwards. Now moving up onto once the player climbs the ladders, and of course I provided the barriers so that the player doesn't really get lost or gets too curious. It was also a little hard here because, you know, people always tend to fall off, so I also provided barrier blocks for them too. I also tried to prevent that. Another reason why I tried to prevent that was because, you know, this game, this is a pretty big world, and usually players tend to die, and when they die, they don't know if they have, whether they have a spawn point or not, and that can be very stressful, and to trying to find, you know, the railroad again. So that's what I just decided to do, so that they don't, you know, make mistakes. Alright, let me clear the weather very quick. Alright, so moving along here, I decided to use grass blocks to, you know, and it has the torches powering it, until I decided to use barrier blocks. There was an obstacle and a disadvantage with this stuff. I couldn't tell, like, you know, where I was building. The only way I can tell is if little outlines here. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna switch to game mode, creative, and the only way I can tell is with those little black boxes, the little black lines. I don't know if you guys see them. Maybe I can change the what's it called? Day. There. Alright, so yeah, now you guys can see it better. There's little lines there. That's the only way I can tell. And it was really hard, because then sometimes I would make mistakes and then I'd get confused. So I'd have to take out the barrier blocks so I can see, okay, where it is. Because it has little icons. Sorry guys. See, like, if I carry it, it has little icons there, so that's the only way I can tell. And sometimes I'd get lost, and you know, so yeah. And then I started to use that for a little while until, and actually, I'm sorry if I'm getting a little off track, but I saw the little village here, and I thought, you know, what if I just have the player just look around at it first? I wanted to make the player, you know, look at the animals that would be spawning everywhere, so that would be cool. And I did it. And it worked miraculously, and until it goes off to a little cheap, you know, thing, and that drops into here. Now I put a little glowstone box so that in case if the player gets off track and the minecart goes the wrong way, then the player can be able to see where it is, especially if it's nighttime. And so now, go over here, and there was almost a fire here, so it kind of burned off the trees, but they can fix that soon. So here's, the player drops into here, and this is the, well, I guess this is the credit sequence. And I am gonna start add some more stuff here, more like, you know, credits. I did everything, but I just decided, you know, I'm probably gonna add my name soon. I don't want to be selfish, so I didn't think of it first. I just, you know, decided to add stuff. So this is telling the player, or telling the command block to say, oh, this is the end, to put that in the chat sequence. And this is telling it to say, thank you for playing, as the minecart steps on the rail. And this one is telling the player to say, we will take you back to spawn soon, stay in your minecart. Alright, so this one is telling the command block to spawn the player at here, so and I'll tell you why in a bit. And now over here, moving on to over here. Again, please remain seated. A lot of players maybe might tend to wander off and say, oh, you know, I'm gonna... Because then if they do, they will get stuck in a brick and probably die and get lost, and they will probably, you know, I guess, stay alive and they'll get lost. So now, if I go over here, and it says goodbye. Now it's saying goodbye because thank you for playing, kind of. And this is the last part here. If I, you know, I dig down a little bit here. Over here. And just, I don't want to break a lot of blocks here. Alright. So here we have redstone. Alright, so that rail activates the redstone right below it, which puts it to this command block here, which tells the minecart to, or which kills the minecart. So it's /kill, and then this is @E, which means entity. The minecart is known as an entity in this game, and it's telling it to kill Minecraft minecart. So it's minecart. Yeah. And then this one is telling it to kill @P, which is to kill the person that is riding the minecart. So it's trying to kill, but it doesn't really kill the person you can't shoot. And this kills minecart. So yeah. Alright. So that's the whole ride. Thank you guys so much for